Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good evening, wherever you are,
Hey, welcome.
to being here. I'm Ariel.
I'm Shya, and obviously we finish each other's sentences
We really do. And sometimes we finish them in our thoughts,
rather than saying them out loud
but we'll do our best to speak out loud during this podcast.
in complete sentences.
But it may be the two of us making a complete sentence. We'll
That's
see.
true. We'll see.
Today's theme: how to have a match made in heaven. Just relax. A number of years ago, we published a book, How to Have a Match Made in Heaven. It was an award-winning book. It's done really well. It was originally published because we had videos of us having conversations with people that were so personal and lovely, and we thought that people deserved to not only see the people on the videos, but to hear the content of what we all were talking about. We turned it into a book. There is a chapter.
So in this book, you can actually watch the video that produced the chapter.
Yes. And so about relaxing in general, relaxing into your goals, relaxing about having a relationship. So that was this particular chapter, but in general, relaxing.
Right.
Boy, it's so easy to get speedy and forget the moment.
Well, yes, forget the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Get lost in getting somewhere that's going to be better, more productive than this moment. Some mythological moment of ecstasy.
I like that term, mythological.
Well, it's a myth. You have the idea that things will be better when, rather than realizing that there's only now, that this is where your life is taking place, this moment. The future doesn't get here until it does, and it's always as a moment of now. The past has already gone by, so you can't recapture it. We were in the kitchen a little while ago, and Ariel made a comment to me about something that I said earlier.
That had been repeated.
And I said, I can't event. It's because I'm not that person now, and you're not that person now. And if we just
I don't know if you can hear.
And she was not that.
When Shai says that, he's talking about how he's not the person he was when we had the interaction that had run through my mind. A cop out, and don't think that you shouldn't bring up that happened between you and a partner. I'm really glad I spoke to Shia about the thing that was repeating in my head, which I can't actually recall right now.
That's because I listened to you.
Yes, listening is such an amazing tool. It was over. And going back to try and figure out why or what happened.
That's why most relationships don't work, because we're constantly trying to fix the past rather than let it be. So you can't change what happened. A person can apologize, but if you want to hold on to being right about your point of view, then they can never apologize sufficiently to have it be quelled, to have it be quieted, to have it be complete and over.
And most of us have if not an addiction, at least a habit of, when we get uncomfortable, blaming it on someone else. And if we're dating someone, or we're in a relationship, or we're married, which is a type of relationship, of course, chances are you spend quite a bit of time around your partner. So it's so easy to blame him or her for your disturbance.
Either you spend a lot of time or not very much time. But if you don't spend very much time, you're having the thought we should spend more time together. And if you spend a lot of time, you think we should spend less time together. So there's no right way to do this thing called relationship. But when you relax into being where you are, there's a possibility for relationship.
Hmm. Let's take our first guest.
Okay.
All right, Erica, welcome to being here. Tell people where you're tuning in from. Can you hear our cat or is it just us laughing at her?
Yes, I can hear your kitty. My name is Erica, and I'm calling in from Los Angeles.
This is
Uh,
this is her Zoom protest. From time to time, she does this. It's very funny.
Yes.
I heard her at first, and then I was really listening to you guys and did not hear her anymore once I was focused on what you were saying.
Yes. Well, that's the whole wall of wax, if you will. If you are engaged where you are, then distractions don't matter. Now she's come to visit us.
There you go. She was playing with her kick toy downstairs, so I think she was
Arguing with it.
arguing with her toy.
That's quite an ability to entertain herself. Um, so I am in a relationship, have been for several years now. My boyfriend and I had a chuckle about the title of this particular show, Relax, because I think most people who know me would not describe me as particularly relaxed. Um, so we thought that this was a good subject for me to join on.
Well, let me
Um,
ask you a question. Did you join on to get fixed here?
no,
Fix the problem
mm,
called Erica?
n I uh, I hadn't thought about it like that, but maybe a little.
Well, the way you introduced it, you, you suggest
Yeah,
something wrong with you for being you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
part of relaxing is realizing that you're perfect the way you are. See, and I love, see, now this is a Zoom video,
Mhm.
so I could watch the motor muscles of your face contract in different ways when I said that you are perfect the way you are.
Yeah.
You have a problem with that.
Yes.
Yes, you have an idea of how you should be that would be better, and then you strive to produce that better. Is that a fair
Yes.
statement? Okay.
Yes.
Here's the problem. If you do that with you, you'll do that with your partner.
Hmm.
So, if you were to relax and be okay being you the way you are, that would be enough for your partner to relax and be okay being them. But if you're picking on you in your thoughts, you pick on them in your thoughts. And you may not say it out loud, but it's palpable. It's
Hmm.
feel when somebody's judging you.
Yeah.
So it's really, Erica, about being kind to yourself. Look, I know you have ideals, you know, uh,
Yes.
and those ideals were given to you by previous generations of Erica's family.
Yes.
Yes. And see, you cannot live up to those ideals. They didn't. They may
Right.
have had them, but that doesn't mean they lived in that space of well being. Well being requires you to be nothing other than the way you are in any given moment and being okay with it. So if you get angry, Eric is not supposed to get angry,
Mhm.
not from
Nope.
Erica's point of view, right? If you get sad, Eric is not supposed to be sad. So you got a lot of not supposed to be's in there.
But if you're happy when you've had a tragedy happen, you're not supposed to be happy either. You have a lot of not supposed to's.
Right. So these rules of how to be limit your ability to experience life love, happiness, well-being, that all gets limited by these rules of the right way to be. Sometimes I,
Yeah.
sometimes I think drugs are a good idea. Not that I recommend them, because I don't. But sometimes, you know, when you've gotten high, and I'm certain you have,
I,
on
I actually have not.
you've never gotten high on anything. You've never drunk alcohol.
Well, drank, yes.
Okay, so
That,
but
that
that's a type of high where you have enough
Okay.
alcohol that it
it's
releases
it
from.
suppresses your inhibitions.
Yes.
Yes. See, I'm talking about your inhibitions. Your
Mm,
inhibitions are ideas of behavior that you have that are programmed in, hardwired in, that tell you, no, you can't say that. No, you can't do that. That's wrong. So
And
you got lots of rules like that.
then alcohol or drugs allow you to bypass that internal inhibitor
And
judgment machine.
around intimacy and sex, you got all kinds of rules. So you laugh because I'm touching on a subject that the rules exist. And
yeah.
these, so
And it, not only rules, but ideas of attractiveness and attractivity. So it's like sometimes when those let go of you, you can allow yourself to experience what others might or your partner might describe as beauty. Otherwise, you have that thing going, oh no, I don't like this part of me or that part of me, or please don't look at this, or you have that conversation that was born from the culture you were raised in, the resistance to the culture you were raised in, and just that inculcation that happens before your mind is such that it can say, oh, that's an inaccurate idea.
yeah, before it's discerning. You see, in the first 6 years of your life, your mind is in a theta brainwave state, which is somewhat like a hypnotic trance, which allows information to come in without filtering it through any kind of, is this right or wrong? So you just assume that everything that you are programmed with is true. And
Right.
that includes all the inhibitions, that includes prejudices, that includes all that stuff, It's just the way it starts. That's our starting point into life. Now, at some point, probably when we're in our late 20s, early 30s, we have a idea to look further into our reality and discover what's really true for us, to find what our reality is rather than what we believe to be true. But that doesn't mean that those inhibitions aren't still in there and strong. We did a podcast earlier today, and we were talking about change in that. And we don't like change. You don't like change.
I do
Even
not
if
like
it's something
change.
you're desirous of, you still don't like it.
That's right. You see that, yes.
Yes.
So you may say, I want something different, but if something different shows up, there's a resistance to different. And change is upsetting because it the equilibrium gets thrown out of balance. Well, that could be a very good thing, that equilibrium being thrown out of balance. Because,
How so? Oh,
well, your reality is largely based in lies. All our realities are based in lies. And a lie could have been true once, but if you assume the truth of something, it's never accurate because the moment is always different.
Ephraim, in the episode that aired last week that because we recorded them on the same day, was talking about a TED talk that he had listened to where somebody was talking about successful people and people who have failed. And that the people who have failed or at something, this is a quote, my repeating about something I hadn't seen. So this was my take on it. Had a lot of reasons why I can't, I don't, I'm no good, I did this, I did that wrong. And the people who had success in those areas or in the areas that they were looking to be successful in don't have words wrapped around it. It's an experience. And I have a feeling that you're so used to analyzing why you are the way you are. Now, mind you, I know that you're in the legal profession. You have a very high powered job. You always have. It's not the the job you have carries weight, and what you do carries weight. I'm sure it's the case for a lot of people, but if a Supreme Court judge, what they come up with has weight, and so does a person who's handling a single divorce. It's weight for everybody, but one has gravitas to it that is bigger in a certain respect. And I feel like the facility that you have developed to be able to look the nuances of things so that you can make sure you're taking care of your clients is you apply that to yourself. You parse things out like crazy. So it's not like it's a failure on your part. It's a skill set you've developed.
But it's like a miner's light is really useful for seeing in the dark. But when you turn it on yourself, you blind yourself with that light. See, and somehow you've done that.
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite analogies of yours that I've heard from you over the years is about the miner's light. I wonder why I like it so much.
Well, maybe it's because you are actively engaged in doing that to yourself, so it applies.
Well, I don't know if you've heard this aspect of the miner's light. We just discussed that if you have a miner's light and it's on your head and you're focusing out in a dark cave or in a room, you can see things. And if it flips down, it's in front of your face, in your eyes, you see nothing. It just blinds you. And often our attention goes to ourselves and we become blinded. However, there's also this other aspect to the miner's light, Erica, and that is when you turn the light out so that you are not using it to analyze yourself. You're looking at what is actually in the physical universe, what's happening around you. You don't have to figure anything out about you. It takes care of itself in the background. And I think
so. What Ariel's talking about is experience, and experience doesn't talk to itself. See, when you're experiencing your life, you're in the experience of your life. You're in the physicality of it. You're not into a mental exercise about how you're doing. So
it sounds much more relaxing than having the analysis paralysis continue in the background.
well, you can either hold being tense or not relaxed as a problem that you need a solution for. That's change. You identify a problem and then you work on the solution for it. Or you can recognize that when you're tense, it's either a symptom of how you're going through life, or sometimes it's the solution. Because if Shia, I can't be intimate with you. I just have way too many emails to do. And I've got this and I've got that. And, sometimes being tense can be a solution to some other problem.
well, here's the thing. What it comes down to is responsibility. It's really that simple. See, you're responsible for your experience of living. When you blame anything in the circumstances, whether it be your partner or a client or
Or
the traffic
you.
light or you, okay, or
Or
you,
you.
if you blame anything outside yourself as the causal agent in what you're experiencing, then you're one, lying. It's not the truth. And two, then you no longer can find well-being because you're blaming the well, you're not telling the truth about what is the cause of the anxiety, if you will. It's all in you. So if you're upset, then Todd cannot do anything right.
Mhm.
No matter what he says, it never is a sufficient answer, and he's always wrong. Have you noticed
Right.
that?
Yes.
See, so it really requires a surrender on your part to what is, to what your universe is showing up like in any given current moment. Because the current moment is where your life is, not in any future or past moment. And
Mhm.
to the degree that you hold on to past moments to be right, it may work in the law, but it doesn't work in relationship because he can't be different than he is, and you can't be different than you are. And when you are being right that he should be different, and that's why you're disturbed, that will keep it going forever, but will never allow you to one, relax, and two, be in harmony in relationship.
Now, there's another book that we published, and I believe this is in Being Here too, as in Being Here TOO, where we wrote several of the chapters, but we had different people write uh, chapters and we published it all together. And there was one chapter written by Eric, who is also a lawyer. And he was talking about how for many years he disregarded the fact that his mother really deeply loved him. And he equated it to law, that he was so good at gathering evidence to make his case and disregarding anything that refuted his case, and that it was a skill set that he had come up with and had developed over the years. And I see that in you. It's so easy to in ourselves when we get upset, make a case and nothing.
There's another piece to this,
Hmm.
and that's you are very think oriented. Your physical
Yeah.
body is thin and long, which ectomorphic. It's a body type that thinks a lot, and you've got one. Now,
Yeah.
if you know it, then you can
Compensate for it.
exactly what I was looking for. But if you are assuming that your reality is what's real, or your thoughts are accurate and true, and you, well, then you're in for a very difficult ride. Because you see, thoughts are automatic, stimulated by the environment. You have thoughts specifically about your survival and how to survive. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, we're walking down the street alongside a river, and I have a thought. I see something dark in the woods, and I have this whole running thought about how I'm going to protect Ariel from the bear that isn't there. It's this automatic survival mechanism that's preparing for danger and our survival. Well, you've got that. And it doesn't care about Erica.
Excellent point.
It doesn't care about Erica's happiness, well-being, satisfaction. None of that matters to that voice. That voice wants to be right.
Well, you got my number.
Yeah. No, that's everybody's number. So it's
Oh,
not
good.
an Erica's number, it's an everybody's number. Erica, darling, you can bring yourself to the moment. I've seen you do it over time. Last year in Costa Rica, you were magnificent. That's very available to you. It's just that you have to be willing to be stronger than your thoughts.
If I'm not mistaken, we suggested a game for you last year that you aren't there to see about getting anything, but to see about what you might have to offer.
Mhm.
And I suspect that so much happened for you while that miner's light was not on,
You,
quote, Erica.
Yeah. Oh, it's magnificent
it's
when
really about being of service to your life rather than getting something because you got everything you need. You know, I'm looking at this
The
Zoom
background.
video in the background, and I see you have a shelf there that's, I believe, a piece of black walnut, uh, like a mantle.
Mhm.
On our fireplace in our living room, we have a piece of wood that's very, very similar to that, perhaps a little longer, but it catches my eye. See, you have everything that you need or want, really. And then there's this idea that you are needy, but you're not. So you have so much to offer the universe, your world.
And as you offer, it allows the universe to flood in, and you actually discover how incredibly wealthy you are.
But you see, if you're in survival, you never have enough. Todd cannot tell you he loves you enough, so you feel loved. Yeah.
Well, when you mentioned the shelf, I felt his love because he so carefully helped me put this office together and installed that shelf with the level and did everything with such care for me to make this a good space for me to work in.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very
And I
sweet.
just love the simplicity of it too, you know. And it's obvious. That's why I mentioned it. Uh, it caught my eye in its simplicity. People have the idea that they need to be complex to be extraordinary. You can be extraordinary and be simple.
I also wouldn't be surprised if some part of you is feeling a little blue lately, mainly because you've had some important things that you wanted to accomplish and you accomplished them. And then if you think those things are going to make you happy,
Or feel
feel,
fulfilled or satisfied.
then there's that gap that happens after you've
Mhm.
completed them. And I know, for instance, you have such an incredible passion for Taylor Swift's music and going to concerts. And I have been watching with fascination and I really admire it. I admire the way you've gone about immersing yourself in anything that you're passionate about. This is one that you've shared with people, and you recently gave yourself a big trip to see her in London. It was a big dream of yours. I believe Todd went with you. It's like you, and
He did not.
okay, my guess is that you had an amazing time.
I did. Yes.
But if you think that's going to, change your life, or if chances are you thought about that a lot in the future, and now it's over. And now what?
Yeah.
Well, it's that way with just about everything. When you think that there's a future moment that's going to be better than the current moment you're in, it robs you of the possibility that this moment is perfect. And that's the other thing. Your life is showing up perfectly, except in your thoughts, because you think it ought to be different.
I don't believe you've caught that level of passion for that we'll use that a concert is an outlet for your passionate nature, in that passionate nature is available in everything you do, should you be here for it. Even the laundry or the dishes or the vacuuming or the cleaning the toilet bowl or the minutia at home, the minutia at work, the minutia of one's life. If you're here for it, what you've touched on is the fountain of Erica. And you can either say, oh, that's only available here in this thing designated as my happy place, or you can recognize that fountain that represents a possibility for you everywhere.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's really cool.
And as you were talking about how Todd set up that shelf for you and how he put the level to make sure it was perfect and how he helped you create this space. Sometimes passions are really quiet, as easily recognizable as the jumping up and down and cheering variety.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, here we go. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight, where we hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life.
If you want to learn more about our seminars, any of the upcoming virtual courses, visit transformationmadeeasy.com.
That is transformation made easy, easy.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Bianca speaking from Germany. And why I usually go to the seminars from Ariel and Shya is that I really love this lovely, sparkling, delicious community they created, and in the meantime, I call them my friends, and this is the best part of my life so far. So thank you so much for creating this community, Ariel and Shya.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively, interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We have our Living Made Easy 2-hour virtual seminars on Monday nights, Saturdays, and one Tuesday a month. You can check our website and register. Come to any one evening or morning or afternoon seminar that you like, and then come back should you wish to join us. Our weekend seminar is coming up. We're only a week and a bit away from the Freedom to Breathe. It's next week on Thursday, October 31st.
And the art of being happy.
Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, the first, second, third.
Yes. And that's taking place in Hamburg, Germany.
And we're so, for those of you who will be joining us there and our whole European community, we're really excited to be able to come to you and to see you soon.
In person.
Relax into Life is our December virtual seminar. It's on a Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th. And then in January, Leap into Life, as we're leaping into the new year. That's on the 4th and 5th. That's right before Shya and I and many of you head off for Costa Rica for our
immersion course in instantaneous transformation.
You can find out more about any of our seminars, about our newsletter, blogs, all of it at transformationmadeeasy.com. Let's take our next guest.
Yes.
All right, Christina. Welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, this is Christina, and I'm zooming in from Bonn, Germany.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So now,
sorry?
Are you back in Bonn? I thought you were moving to another town 2.5 hours away.
So true, Shya, I did, but I'm keeping my apartment here as well.
Oh.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, so you're one of these people who have more than one home. I'm so impressed.
Yes. Yes. It feels so luxurious. Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What can we do for you today?
I was so enjoying listening to you when you talked to Erica. And when I read the first time the title of this show, actually, I heard the question that came up for me was, what actually is a match made in heaven? Because I don't know.
Well, wait a second. I bet you that you have ideas about what a match made in heaven would be like, of what the perfect match, what your perfect partner, how they should be, how they should talk, how they should act, how they should dress. Am I accurate?
Yes.
You know how you know, because anytime you recently ended a relationship.
Is it still over? Oh, good. Okay,
Just
checking.
So I am certain that there were things that he did or things he didn't do that you could point to prove to yourself that it was not a match. Oh, he spoke to me in this manner, or he never brought me flowers, or whatever you have as an idea. Yes, you're laughing at that one.
Yes.
You have that's enculturated that a match looks like.
I mean, there are things coming up like Hollywood or Disney movies I used to watch as a child, as a young child, and but I recently see that it's not reality, right? And I can see that I just have a feeling that a match made in heaven is an experience, and I have sort of ideas about it, but also there's just a question.
When you talk about a match made in heaven, it seems to not fluctuate.
What does this mean? Fluctuate?
Change. The weather gets warm, the weather gets cold, the weather gets warm, the weather gets cold. Relationships work that way. Sometimes it's raining in a relationship. Sometimes it's bright, sunny on a beach. Sometimes it's bright, sunny on a beach and you're arguing. It isn't static. It isn't a relationship that's perfect. It doesn't have to be one way. It changes as you change. But if you are trying to get this relationship to be a certain way that you learned on the Disney Channel.
You say that it's not Hollywood, but you have lots of Hollywood ideas. You
Mhm.
Day my prince will come. You've got lots of different um, things that you've seen and consumed, both in literature as well as
Television. I don't know about the German television shows, but I'm sure they have family shows that are
Mhm.
just so yummy that you just didn't have that family.
Yes.
nobody had that.
Nobody has that family.
Yes.
They never fight, they always smile.
But if you want to
Mhm.
know what a match made in heaven looks like, look to yourself. If at any given time you are fighting with yourself,
About
if anything,
anything.
you will fight with your partner should you have one.
In fact,
Mhm.
if you fight with yourself, you'll want your partner to fight with you.
How so?
We tend to invite people to treat us the way we're treating ourselves. So if we think we are broken, we will want our universe to mirror our
And
idea about
support that
ourselves.
idea so we can be right that we're broken.
Mhm.
It's all about being right.
Or if we think, just grabbing something out of the air, that we had the wrong mother and she screwed us up, then anytime relationships gets a little too good, we're going to have to kind of slow things down because it wars with our initial statement into life that I'm screwed up and it's my mom's fault. So then you have one or two choices: either hang on to that perspective or let it go and have relationship flower. But you can't have both at the same time, because if you're broken and screwed up and you're doing really well, then maybe they didn't do such a bad job after all.
Mhm.
You're shaking
Your
your
head,
head.
but that does.
Yes.
That doesn't translate
You're
to the
smiling and
audio,
shaking your head.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
but it's an up and down shake rather than a side to side shake. So that means we're doing pretty good here.
Yeah, in my past relationship, there were a lot of moments where I felt like I have the relationship like my parents had.
And was that a good thing or a bad thing?
A bad thing.
That's right. Now, but wait a second. Let's not talk about your last relationship. Let's
Okay.
take a look at previous relationships. Did you elicit the same behavior from other guys in past relationships? You're looking.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, is the right answer, by the way.
what you resist, you produce.
So if you resisted being like your parents, you're going to produce relationship just like your parents.
Mhm.
That's love.
And they didn't do so bad either, really. I mean, you're beautiful.
Mhm.
You're relatively happy. You're successful in your life, even though sometimes you think you need to be more successful.
I mean, for goodness sake, you have two homes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. Well, the really cool thing is that I noticed when I had these moments where I felt like I have the relationship with my parents, I could also see their love and their dynamic for each other. And I felt really, really close to them. And I could so see, yeah, see everything. It came so clear to me. And I felt so much compassion for them.
Well, how about a little compassion for you?
Okay.
You know? See, you're that voice you listen to that calls itself Christina.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very kind voice,
Oh, no.
especially when it's talking to you about you.
Yes.
I often say, I wish you could see you through my eyes. Because I don't have those complaints about you that you have about you. I don't see anything wrong with you. I only see a beautiful woman.
Hmm.
And it's interesting how you gained compassion for your parents. I think that's lovely. But you didn't experience reverence or it's not even gratitude. It's like I know that I'm a lot like both my parents. The person I traditionally resisted in the early years was my mom. And I see so many ways that I am like her.
Hmm.
It's not that I have compassion for that. That's magnificent. She was an amazing individual. And I don't think you've embraced your amazing nature. You're still fighting with your childhood idea of what was wrong with them.
Yes.
Now, we don't tell you how to be, You'll work this out as you do.
Mhm.
What's possible is for you to forgive your past, where
Okay.
to give up the right to punish, to give up the right or desire to punish is the definition of forgiveness. Another definition is to have it be as though the event never happened. So, like if you forgive a loan, they don't owe you anything anymore.
Hmm.
And if you were to pass them on the street, you're not like, oh, that guy stiffed me for $10. It's like it's done. You don't have. There was something that happened. You were recently on a Living Made Easy seminar with us, and you mentioned, or the topic came up, that you're no longer in relationship with the fellow you were dating. And I saw pass across your face some sadness that it was over, but also at least some self-recrimination as if you had failed in this one, as opposed to that was the successful arc of that relationship. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I have to tell you that prior to my being with Shia, I dated quite a number of people, some seriously, some less seriously. And toward the end, prior to Shia, uh, there were people who I genuinely loved and had, but they were not mine. We were not a fit. I was really happy that I don't know what they're doing or if they found love elsewhere. I'm happy they left and they went off because this is for me. And it's not like I failed in those.
They were just placekeepers until we got together.
Hmm.
As early as I thought I wanted a relationship, he was still married.
Hmm.
He was not available. I was not available. We need to have our lives keep going until that was a couple years over, and then we could meet and find each other. Life just argues for what it argues for.
Hmm.
Like in the book, how to have a match made in heaven, there was a place where Susan was working so hard to have a relationship that she forgot whoever she was with is who she was currently dating. So you're currently on a date with us. Not that we expect that it's going to ever turn into something that's physically intimate. Similar when you go and you order something at a coffee shop and the barista is making your coffee and you're having a chat, that's a date.
Hmm.
Everything is a date.
Yeah, I like that. Mm.
Nice being with you today.
Yeah, really.
Thank you. Nice being with you too.
Mm.
Hey, it's all worked out. You're doing great, sweetheart.
Okay.
She's like,
This
okay.
is it, you see.
This is what a magical relationship looks and feels like. However it is that you are.
Right now.
Mm.
Ah. If you haven't done so already, you can subscribe. You can survive. You can subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter. You can find all of our courses, archived episodes. You know, we have more than 800 episodes. You can search by topic, or you can just get potluck. You can find all of it at transformationmadeeasy.com. So funny. Next week's episode.
Scarcity?
Yeah. Ooh, survival. We'll be back next week. So come on back
and don't miss
being
being here.
here.